Hello everyone, welcome to the chemistry session. Today we are going to do 5 questions from chapter 3 and 4. So once you see the questions, make sure to pause the video, solve the questions yourself, and then look at the solutions. In the solutions, I'll try to connect things from the notes as well wherever required. I'll just share the screen now. All right, time for the solutions. First question, first part, which talks about divalent anion. So first of all, similar sounding term is there in our course, which talks about atomicity. Atomicity is a concept, and then there are different kind of possible atomicities, so di, tri, tetra, and so on. Let us not get confused with that thing here. This is about ions, and as the word suggests, valent, that means it is talking about valency. सो डाई का मतलब टू होता है और वैलेंट इज वैलेंसी दैट मीन्स एक ऐसा अनायन जिसकी वैलेंसी टू हो एंड व्हाई आर दे मेंशनिंग अनायन बिकॉज दे आर हिंटिंग यू दैट देयर शुड बी अ चार्ज ऑफ नेगेटिव सो प्रिसाइजली -2 जिस भी एलिमेंट की वैलेंसी है we'll be naming that element here. Before we come to the conclusion, let me just compare it with atomicity as a concept so that we don't get confused. So let's say di के आगे यहाँ पे atomic आ रहा है, that means 2 atoms. Di means 2, atomic means atoms. यानी कि कहीं पे भी अगर 2 atoms exist करेंगे together, that will be called as diatomic. So 2 atoms together exist करने का मतलब one is simply oxygen, as you can see. Another example, hydrogen. Basically, we are talking about molecules here. So जब भी atomicity as a concept की बात होगी, we'll be talking about one molecule because molecule is nothing but a group of atoms. How many atoms exist together to become one molecule? Depending on that, we call them as diatomic. Let's say tetra means tetra का मतलब 4 होता है. That means P4 can exist here. पॉलीएटॉमिक हम तब वर्ड यूज करेंगे जब एनीथिंग ग्रेटर देन 4 इज देयर बिकॉज वी कैन नॉट रिमेंबर ऑल द नेम्स मोनो बाई डाई ट्राई एंड टेट्रा दीज can be the names that we can remember. Anything greater than 4 in terms of atomicity will be called as polyatomic, in which sulfur comes into play. So this is one of the unique structures. We have to remember it. Now coming back to the question from the assignment, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट एनायन यानी कि हमें एक ऐसे एलिमेंट की बात करनी है जिसकी वैलेंसी -2 हो एंड आई एम श्योर यू कैन गेस इट ऑक्सीजन इज वन स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड एलिमेंट विच हैज दिस वैलेंसी. नाउ अब ये हम कैसे जज कर पाएंगे कि वैलेंसी 2 है? वन वे इज टू रिमेंबर ऑल द वैलेंसीज विच इज obviously recommended. Another thing on the spot you can think about this as well by using electronic configuration. So let's say there's an element which has its first shell completely filled, and in the second shell there are 2 less elements. If we go by the concepts, 8 electrons maximum यहाँ पे आ सकते हैं and it should be there to become stable. But अगर यहाँ पे 8 से 2 कम होंगे, that means 2,6 किसी की EC होगी, that will require 2 electrons to come into play so that it can become stable. That means इसकी valency -2 हो जाएगी because it requires 2 electrons. That is exactly the case of oxygen, by the way. अब इससे एक शेल इंक्रीज कर देते हैं. लेट्स से फर्स्ट शेल इज कंप्लीटली फिल्ड, इवन द सेकंड शेल इज कंप्लीटली फिल्ड. सो द सेम प्रॉब्लम अराइजेस इन द थर्ड शेल नाउ. वहां पे देयर आर 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स लेस. सो दिस आई लीव अप टू यू. जिसकी भी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन है, यू कैन गेस दैट एलिमेंट कैन आल्सो फिट इन हियर. सो इजीली वी कैन गेस 2 एलिमेंट्स हियर. नाउ वी कम टू ट्राईवैलेंट कैटायन. दैट मींस ट्राई मींस 3 और कैटायन है तो +3 एज अ वैलेंसी हमें चाहिए होगी. वन ऑफ द वेरी कॉमन एलिमेंट्स इज एल्यूमिनियम, बाय द वे. If you have done crisscross method in chapter 3 properly, you would remember it. This is a very commonly occurring element, but apart from that we can apply the logic here as well. So let's say first shell is completely filled. Normally we'll make the first shell completely filled. Second may we have let's say 3 extra electrons. तो 2,3 किसी की वैलेंसी हो सकती है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन हो सकती है रादर. और दूसरी पॉसिबिलिटी है कि फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड शेल कंप्लीटली फिल्ड है और थर्ड में 3 एक्स्ट्रा इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं. बिकॉज सी वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट अ कैटायन, यानी कि वैलेंसी वी नीड पॉजिटिव, एंड पॉजिटिव इज ओनली पॉसिबल व्हेन वी हैव एक्स्ट्रा इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, तभी वो डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होंगे, डोनेट होंगे. सो हियर वी हैव 2 पॉसिबिलिटीज. 2,3 and 2,8,3. So this is aluminum, by the way. I again leave this up to you. You can refer the table. You should remember the table and quickly guess the name of this element. Then we talk about monovalent anion. Mono means one valency और anion का मतलब है negative, यानी कि -1 की valency चाहिए. The most common element I can think about is Cl minus, chlorine minus. There can be other elements as well, by the way. So how do we approach this? अब since it is negative, that means इसको एक electron चाहिए होगा to become stable. That means it is lacking one electron right now. So second shell में 8 की जगह 7 electrons हैं. That's one possibility. Second possibility में हम क्या करेंगे? First two shells को completely fill कर देंगे. And third में we have one less electron. So that's the second possibility. This, by the way, is chlorine. And again, I leave the first one up to you to guess. Second question, which talks about ratio by mass, combining in all these things. We did in the previous class as well, but it's a very, very important concept. So we can revise it again. So if we talk about H2O, ratio by mass में सबसे पहले तो हमें different elements के mass पता होने चाहिए. So like if we talk about oxygen, the mass will be 16 units and hydrogen will be 2 units. So these are the respective masses. अब हमें रेशियो निकालना है इनके मास का. नॉर्मली रेशियो हम इन द ऑर्डर ऑफ अकरेंस निकालते हैं. अकरेंस का मतलब है अगर हमने पहले H लिखा है और O बाद में लिखा है इन द कंपाउंड, तो हम H न्यूमरेटर में लिखेंगे एंड O डिनोमिनेटर में लिखेंगे. दैट मींस 2:16, which is 1:8. And if you remember in NCERT as well, this is there, and this is something that NCERT expects you to learn at the end. It might be a case कि किसी क्वेश्चन में आपको एक्सप्लेन करना पड़े जैसे यहाँ पे है, but at the same time in a one marker it can be really helpful that you remember the ratio. Then we talk about CO2. So carbon dioxide में भी same structure होगा. You just need to remember the masses. So carbon के लिए mass will be 12 units. Oxygen का 1 का mass 16 होता है, तो 16 into 2 32 हो जाएगा. These are the respective masses. We are talking about ratio. That means division will happen, and division किस order में होगी? Carbon in numerator and oxygen in denominator. So 12/32. अगर we just simply divide it by 2, so we get 6/16, or if we simply go forward, we come to 3:8 as the ratio. Again, you can recall this is a very common ratio. It has been used multiple times. And finally, for NH3 also we can do the same. What is the similarity between these three molecules? So chlorine, अभी मॉलिक्यूल है, मैं सिर्फ अभी एटम्स लिख रहा हूं यहाँ पे. क्लोरीन, नाइट्रोजन एंड हाइड्रोजन. इनमें सबसे इजीली आई बिलीव यू कैन रिकॉल इज फॉर हाइड्रोजन, बिकॉज हाइड्रोजन जनरली डजंट एग्जिस्ट इन द एटॉमिक फॉर्म. इन फैक्ट most of the elements don't exist in the atomic form. It's only the few elements which can exist, जिनकी monovalent भी नहीं, जिनकी कोई वैलेंसी नहीं होगी, rather वैलेंसी 0 होगी. They will be highly stable in their original sense, atomic sense, and hence they don't need to become ion or they don't need to become a molecule. वो जैसे हैं वैसे ही रहेंगे. You can guess what's the name of those elements. The name is the inert gases or the noble gases. So inert gases में let's say we can name 3, 4, 5 inert gases we have talked about. So based on all these things, coming back to hydrogen, hydrogen normally will not exist in the active sense. So इसको molecule बनना पड़ेगा, which is H2. Again, nitrogen का you can recall, it exists like N2. Chlorine exists like Cl2. ये सारी gases हैं, by the way, chlorine gas, nitrogen gas and hydrogen gas. Another way to remember is most of the gases exist in this form. This form का मतलब है 2 atoms in one molecule, and you can guess the name. We are talking about atomicity. These are diatomic elements. Question 4 talks about Rutherford's gold foil experiment, in which very few alpha particles actually got deflected back. If you remember, हमारी expectations कुछ और थी. We expected something else, but what happened is very few got deflected. That means most of them passed straight, either straight or बस just slight deflection हुई, but हमारा path वही था straight जाने का. That means most of the confined mass or the heaviness inside the atom is right there at the center, which is called as the nucleus. ये one of the conclusions था. और उसके अराउंड देयर आर शेल्स इन विच इलेक्ट्रॉन्स रिवॉल्व. Electrons are so light, they are almost massless, that they will not really deflect these alpha particles अगर वो उनसे strike भी कर जाएं तो. So it's only this area, center area, जहाँ पे deflection होगी, while maximum space inside the atom will be such जहाँ पे कोई deflection नहीं होगी. So this absolutely is a true statement, first one. Second statement talks about nucleus being heavy. So nucleus atom में होता है, center में होता है, heavy होता है. The statement is absolutely true. There is no doubt about it. That means C and D options are rejected. इन क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व करने की ट्रिक क्या है? As I said in the class multiple times, जब भी दोनों ट्रू हो, you read both of these one by one again, and फिर assertion read करती take a pause and think from your own point of view कि इसका exact reason क्या होना चाहिए. जो आपके mind ने reason बताया है versus the reason that they are mentioning, अगर उसमें total mismatch है, that means B option should be correct because that should not serve as the reason. So if we go by the logic again, very few alpha particles got deflected back. Just take a pause here, don't read this. Think from your all the concepts. क्यों ऐसा होता है कि ज्यादातर डिफ्लेक्शन नहीं होती है? Because न्यूक्लियस सेंटर पे confined होता है, majority of the atomic space empty होता है. हम ये जरूर कह सकते हैं कि न्यूक्लियस का हैवी होना इंपॉर्टेंट है, बट न्यूक्लियस सिर्फ सेंटर पे छोटे से एरिया में कन्फाइंड है, while most of the area is empty. This should be the exact reason for it. And what they are trying to say here is, this is just partial. This is not even 30% of the entire reason. Yes, it is heavy, but they should have mentioned that nucleus is only at the center. It occupies very less space inside the atom, and most of the space is absolutely empty, and electrons cannot even deflect it. So that would have been the proper reason. That means option B is absolutely correct here. Electronic structure of Z2 minus ion. See, normally electronic structure या electronic configurations हम atoms की देखते हैं, but here they are talking about ions, so we have to be very careful because there is a charge. That means 2 minus का charge है, यानी कि इसने 2 electrons accept किए होंगे, और accept करने के बाद की जो electronic configuration है, that is mentioned here. Because ion की बात हो रही है, that means original EC यहाँ पे mentioned नहीं है. तो 2 लेस इलेक्ट्रॉन्स इसके पास ओरिजिनली रहे होंगे, यानी कि 8 की जगह यहाँ पे 6 रहे होंगे. तो व्हाट वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम दिस इज दैट द ओरिजिनल EC वुड हैव बीन 2,6. वी नो व्हिच एलिमेंट इज दिस. 2,6 we can write it here, and then number of neutrons is 11. So number of neutrons is 11. अब 2,6 एटॉमिक स्टेट की बात हो रही है, यानी कि इसकी ओरिजिनल स्टेट की बात हो रही है, जिसमें इलेक्ट्रॉन्स और प्रोटॉन्स इक्वल टू ईच अदर होते हैं. सो वेरी इजीली वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम हियर दैट प्रोटॉन्स इलेक्ट्रॉन्स विल बी इक्वल टू 2 plus 6 which is 8. So this is the total sum, यानी कि 8 रिस्पेक्टिव इलेक्ट्रॉन्स प्रोटॉन्स हैं and 11 neutrons है ये हमारे पास. We have to find the nucleon number. Think from your own point of view, what is a nucleon number? न्यूक्लियन नंबर बेसिकली न्यूक्लियस से जुड़ा हुआ वर्ड है, और न्यूक्लियस के अंदर क्या होता है, वो चीजें होती हैं जिनसे एटम का मास आता है, जो हेवी इनफ होती हैं, यानी कि प्रोटॉन्स एंड न्यूट्रॉन्स. उन्हीं की वजह से एटॉमिक मास होता है या मास नंबर होता है, एंड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स डोंट हैव अ पार्ट टू प्ले देयर. दैट मींस सिंपली स्पीकिंग, न्यूक्लियन नंबर इज द नंबर ऑफ प्रोटॉन्स प्लस नंबर ऑफ न्यूट्रॉन्स. अब आप इनको नॉर्मली ऐड करोगे क्वांटिटी फाइंड करने के लिए, so it will be, as you can see, neutrons are 11 and protons are 8. If we simply add them, 19 is the answer. This is also the quantity or the number of protons and neutrons combined. It can also serve as the total mass or simply the mass number, because coincidentally one quantity is equal to one mass in this case. That is what we have to remember. ये कई बार confusion हो सकती है कि क्या ये 19 नंबर ऑफ पार्टिकल्स हैं या 19 टोटल मास है. इट्स एक्चुअली द बोथ, बिकॉज वन नंबर ऑफ पार्टिकल इज इक्वल टू वन मास. You can also see the solutions I have mentioned here. There can be other elements like iron is one. Iron can show multiple valencies, +3 and +2. This is not there in the first 18 or 20 elements in the first table of the book. So it might not strike your mind straightforward, but you can still have more examples in your mind. Oxygen is what we discussed. Iodine is on the similar lines of chlorine, by the way. These elements are called as halogens. Chlorine हो गया, bromine हो गया, iodine हो गया. इन सबकी similar properties होती हैं, which we'll understand in class 10th. And then the ratios are mentioned here. diatomic molecules, which we talked about, B part, and finally this answer. So everything is here. You can take a screenshot of this as well. Right now, very quickly, I can just relate things from the notes. If you want to revise the entire topics, there would be reference. So this is something that we discussed, atomicity se related hai, but it's altogether a different concept, which is based on valency. So let's see where we can find valency in the notes. It's on 10th page of chapter 3 notes. This entire table talks about valency. The signs are not mentioned here, plus minus, but we should also know about the signs, the relevance of the signs as well. So let's say पहले -2 की बात हो रही थी. First part was about -2, in which we can talk about 2,6 जैसे oxygen हुआ. So this can serve 2,8,6, which I talked about. Sulfur was the answer for that. So another thing can be for +3. That means हमारी valency 2,3 हो सकती है. EC is not valency, which is the 5th boron element, 2,3. और 2,8,3 हो सकती है. If you just add these numbers, 2,8,3, 13 हो जाएगा. यानी कि 13th element, which is aluminium, and it will show the valency as +3. Another possibility could have been 2,8, and then 3. But unfortunately, we don't have much data after 20 as per our syllabus. In future classes, obviously, we will have such data. So this is what you can recall from here. And then -1 का मतलब होगा that 1 electron is less. अब अगर मैं सिर्फ फर्स्ट शेल की बात करूं और यहाँ पे बोलूं there is only 1 electron, it's basically a case of hydrogen. But unfortunately, it doesn't show the properties of an anion. Rather, it is oriented towards cation. That means it is basically oriented towards being a metal in that sense. H plus Cl minus सब add करते हैं, hydrochloric acid बनता है. So that is what we can imagine. And then -1 में एक possibility है जैसे 2,7 था. So which is 9th, fluorine. I mentioned about halogens, fluorine, bromine, iodine, chlorine, these can be the halogens. 2,8,7, 17 electrons हो गए. That means chlorine. So these can all serve in this category. For question number 2, in which we basically need to know the masses, absolutely crucial. You remember all these things. So this was the table picked from NCERT itself, but it's there in the notes, page number 6. You can go through it. Must remember it before your final exams. Third question, we don't really need to relate anything. Since fourth question talks about Rutherford, so for Rutherford, we can go to the notes again. It's from page number 6 to page number 9 in the notes. Everything is mentioned. You can even refer the book if you want. A to Z Rutherford is important. क्या expectations थी, क्या observations थी, and finally क्या conclusions थे based on that. So this is all theory. Remember, we studied about a diagram. It's there uploaded in the drive as well. This is a much more clearer representation of what is exactly happening. So from here, alpha particles are coming. There is an opening here. Otherwise, it is all surrounded because it acts like a screen. तो ये जो gold foil है इसको strike करता है, and you can just count the number of rays they are going straight versus only a couple of rays which are deflecting back. So this is how we can remember the diagram. A colorful diagram, we can easily remember it. And then question number 5 also, it's a straightforward one, so can't really relate too much. So that's it for today's class. Thank you.